Well, Coach Earl Bates said at Southeast Guilford getting set for football practice today. You guys been working out the past week or so. Coach, what's it been like so far these early practices?
Well, other than the weather, it's been good. The weather's kind of been all over the place this summer. So we've just been trying to battle the elements day to day.
So you had some heat last week when you first got started. This week you got rain and some cooler temperatures. But I guess, like you say, you have to be ready because on any given Friday night or even a Thursday night, you don't know what the weather's going to be this year.
Yeah, that's correct. It's one thing we can't control is the weather, so we just got to adjust the best we can.
Probably got a lot of kids in this team and quite a few guys along with yourself and the coaching staff. Remember last year's Thursday night game against Northern Guilford? That was one for the books, I believe.
Yeah, we thought we were going to beat the rain, and I think Thursday ended up being the worst night. So
that was a crazy lot. It rained all day and rained all night too. I don't think it ever let up.
No, it really didn't.
That was a battle that night too. I guess because of the elements, because of the bad weather, there was not a lot of scoring going on. That was a battle to try to see if you could pull that thing off in the rain.
Yeah, it was a tough game for both of us. The field got to the point where it was not very good traction in that game.
What were some of your better games last year? Remember what was some of the highlights? Some of the highlights of last year in 2024. Some good things you remember about last season.
Well, I think we rebounded last year, making the playoffs, and the first playoff round win against Reagan was a very exciting game for the guys.
That went a few overtimes, didn't it?
Went one overtime. So we went for two to win that game. So that was an exciting moment for the kids last year.
What about looking at this year? Some things you look from this team. How many guys are back from last year? First of all, how many players you got back, and what do you expect out of this year's team?
Well, we've got quite a few guys back on both sides of the football. Up front is where it starts for us offensively. With those guys, Micah Martin, Bryce Benton, Jason Scott, all returning starters on the offensive line. Then we have another senior that's probably going to start at right tackle, Tyler Nichols, and Brian Bellaran, who's a junior, has been a pleasant surprise at center. So we're going to be big and strong up front. We've got to replace a lot of offensive firepower from last year, losing Ian McKinnon and Tariq McLaughlin, in the backfield. But
gave you quite a few yards.
Yeah, but Caleb Jackson and Joshua William Hatton has had a good spring and summer, so I think those guys can really help us in the run game.
Who's going to be a quarterback this year? Because you had Marsh. Alexander Marsh was a good dual threat quarterback, running pass both. He was there for a couple of years. So I guess, is he gone now? And who do you replace him with?
Well, we're still trying to, figure that position out. Jaden Grays and Phoenix Fleming are competing for that job right now. They both are showing an improvement from the spring, so that's a positive thing. We'll see over these next 2 weeks with the scrimmages that we have coming up, which guy will emerge as a starter for opening night.
Do you have any receivers back from last year?
We got LaMel Best was a starter at receiver for us, and Braylon Bates was also a starter at receiver.
So you got two key receivers back?
Got two receivers back, and we got Josh Penn, who started on the JV for us, and T.J. Board will play quite a bit offensively for us this year. He's been mainly used as a defensive back his first 2 years, but he will see quite a bit of reps on offense.
Got any players like McKinnon? Because McKinnon could be a defensive player for you, offensive player, put him in different positions. That guy did a lot of things going back to his freshman year.
Caleb Jackson is going to be very similar to that. Caleb actually led us in tackling last year on defense at inside linebacker, but he's had a very good spring and summer so far at running back also. Big, strong guy, so we look for a lot of good things out of him.
Going back to Micah Martin, which side of the ball does he line up on the offensive line, left side or right side?
Micah's the left tackle. He's the leader of that group. We could play him at center if we needed to, but again, Brian Bellaran has stepped in and really been a pleasant surprise at center, so we're able to just leave Micah at left tackle, and again, that offensive line will be our strength.
May not go on as much as it used to. Maybe it goes on more now. I'm not sure because I don't see all the tape and watch it frame by frame. But the linemen like Micah Martin and the guards and tackles, they still pull quite a bit these days. Pulling guard, pulling tackles, they still pull.
Yeah, we still pull a lot. I know a lot of teams, and we run inside zone, outside zone also, but we still pull. And those guys are, they're good at that. So that scheme of playing is still around.
I know a lot of those tackles like to get a chance to pull and lead that outside sweep, just get a chance to get outside and try to knock a few guys down, let that running back get 10 or 15 yards. That's always a pleasure, too, to try to lead that sweep.
Yeah, those guys have a good time when they're able to, especially lead up on some of those defensive backs and pancake somebody, so they have a good time doing that.
Love getting downfield, like you say, against those defensive backs and try to put one down and get a big rush or big block. Coach, what about the defensive side of the ball? How about is that looking over there right now?
No, got quite a few of those guys back as well up front. Braylon Marsh, Miles Thompson, Chandler Stinnett. And then, of course, Caleb is back inside linebacker. In the secondary, we got the twins, both twins, Josh and Jordan. In the secondary, TJ has been a 2-year starter at corner for us. So in Penn, we'll probably see a lot of reps at the other corner. And we got Nas Motley, who will play quite a bit also at corner for us.
And you don't mind playing guys both ways if you have to. I know a lot of coaches try to say, let's just get a platoon system. No matter what the talent's like, you put a number of guys on both sides of the ball. But in your case, I guess, being in football, you have all the years. You probably like to put the best players out there if you want to, because usually that's a better chance to win when you got the best athletes on the field.
We do, and we've experimented with two platooning some, but we're committed, and our guys, really want to have a chance to play both sides of the ball. So we've got guys that can back those guys up that are playing on both sides of the ball, so they won't be exclusive guys just constantly on the field. We have other guys that will play quite a bit as well.
What about this new conference realignment you've got now? We've got some different teams in the conference now, some teams you were playing before, probably not playing this year. What do you like about this new layout?
Well, I think it's going to be a very competitive conference. Of course, we've been in the conference with Northern Guilford the entire time, and then you add Northeast, Asheboro, and Southern Guilford, Eastern Guilford. So, and we've played Eastern Guilford in the past, so we're familiar with everybody. When I first came to Southeast, I was in the conference with Asheboro, so I did have the opportunity to play them before. So it's a lot of familiar teams. I think it's going to be a very competitive conference, and I look forward to it.
Now, I didn't see everything on the preseason schedule. Remember, so many years you played Dudley first game of the year, their Mouse first or second game. Was Dudley still on the schedule? Or are you going to miss having them out there?
Well, we missed that game this year. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that schedule worked out, so we don't have them on the schedule. Non-conference, we got Western Guilford, Ragsdale, Southern Alamance, Glenn, and R.J. Reynolds.
Gotcha. So that's not a bad lineup. You played Western Guilford last year, pretty close game, I guess, over at their place last season.
Yeah, Western Guilford and Ragsdale was a very back-and-forth game with us last year.
So you look at this team overall, what's your expectations? What do you tell these guys to do to make sure you win a number of games this year and be what you want these guys to be? Southeast Guilford Falcon Pride runs on. How do you keep that Falcon Pride running, and how do you get the most out of these guys this year?
Well, our guys have worked extremely hard over the last 6-7 months, and they're very excited. They've been excited ever since we started skill development workouts. So the expectations are high this year, and we got a lot of things that we're looking forward to accomplishing.
I know the emotions run deep, because I still remember I was here last year on that Friday night, and you had the seniors, and they were talking out there before the game, had them all rounded up, and they said some things about what had happened when they were here at Southeast, how much it meant to them. If you got a good group of seniors again this year, and you expect that same type of emotional leadership from this year's senior class?
We do. We've got 21 seniors this year, so again, a lot of those guys have been here the entire time, and again, they're very excited to get their senior year started.
How much has this game changed since you were back as a player over the years? How much has it changed going back to your playing days at Eastern Guilford, Western Carolina, then to your coaching days at Reedsville, and all over the place, Moorhead, Southern Guilford, Northeast Guilford, and Southeast? How much has it changed going back since when you got first started going those days?
Well, that's all debatable. X's and O's is X's and O's. Everybody's got the similar type kids now, so it's just a matter of getting guys in the right places and coming up with schemes to make your team successful.
It's always about coaching them up, I guess, and coach them up.
It is, you know, you could get a group of guys together sometime and debate different things on different areas, but it's just a debate. You know, we got to play what we have today, and you just go with that.
You go with 2025, like a lot of coaches and players and teams say. It's sometimes also you look at the schedules, look at the other teams. It's not about what they're doing. It's about what you're doing. You guys got to do what you guys have to do to get these wins, I'm sure.
Well, it always starts with, for us, it always starts with us taking care of the things that we need to do. And then, of course, when it gets into game week, yes, you know, you scout your opponent, but if you hadn't taken care of yourself, that makes it more difficult.
Got to be ready, Coach. You get ready for practice today in some dreary weather, but I mean, there's different times like this during the season. This will get you more ready as time goes on. What's it look like days? Wednesday, got Thursday practice. Have you got a scrimmage on Friday?
Right, practice today going to be another wet one, but again, our guys have handled the elements very well this summer. So, and then we'll practice again tomorrow, and we got a scrimmage down at Eastern Alamance on Friday.
Just a two-team scrimmage down there?
Right now, I know it's Southeast, Eastern Alamance, and Page. I know he was trying to add another team. Coach Kirby, you know, he's back at Eastern Alamance, so I'm not sure if he was able to add one or not.
Is Coach Kirby back coaching again?
Yes.
Wow, so John Kirby's back.
Yes.
Wow, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to keep the guys away. You've been around these guys for years. You know how it is yourself. It's hard to keep them away when they're gone. They come back. And, boy, Paige, that'd be some good preseason competition to get you guys ready.
Yes, I think, you know, it's a good opening scrimmage for us. So, again, looking forward to getting there. We got a couple more days to straighten out some stuff on our end, so we're looking forward to that.
Coach, look forward to your season coming up. Keep up the good work. How many years have you been coaching?
Oh, shoot. I can't count them anymore, and there's so many.
Somewhere between 35 and 40, probably at least.
Getting ready to start year 35.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I wasn't far off. Not bad, not bad. That's great. Year 35 and probably got about 10 more left in you.
Well, it keeps me young.
Absolutely. You can't go down without a fight, and this is a fight right now. The fight continues.
That's it.
Coach, thank you for your time as always.
All right. Thank you, Andy.